Hey everyone, today's episode of Tin Man Saws, I think we are going to mess with this homelite XL76. I don't know about you guys, but these things grow on trees here. They're absolutely everywhere. This is probably the most common saw in my region, this series of homelite. So yeah, I picked this thing up, paid like 20 bucks for it. And old fella had it. I think I mentioned this in another video, but old fella had it. He was probably in his 80s, I'd say. Just couldn't start it anymore, so I bought this off of him. 20 bucks. It is missing the top cover. Again, no big deal. There's so many of these here. It looks like it's been sitting under a bench for 20 years, which sounded like it has. Missing a few screws and whatever, though. It's complete. Has all kinds of compression. So what's the plan with this? Well, I'm going to get this running, and then I think we're going to take this apart and see if we can port it. Why not? These are pretty strong saws out of the box. They're strong for what they are. And I don't know. Let's see if we can port this. I mean, why not, right? Let's see if we can do something with this saw. So I'm going to clean this thing up and see if I can get it running. And then we're going to port it. I haven't done anything to this saw yet. It is as you see it. I'm going to blow it off and clean it up. And then I'll show you the progress as it goes. And then we'll see if we can get it running. Okay, I blew this thing off. Looks pretty good, actually. This is a pretty clean saw underneath everything. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. The air filter is definitely an issue. I'll figure something out. But yeah, not a bad saw. It's clean. Here, I'm going to set you up here for a second. I want you to hear this thing thump. Really good compression. So I bet you this thing will be running by the end of the day. I'm going to pull the carb off and we'll have a look when I finish taking it off. Okay, I got the carb off. It's a Tillotson S125A. This is a governed carb, like most of these. You can see the governors right there. Most of these older saws had that. There you go. You hear that? See how it's all swollen? 98% of saws you buy that don't run, that's the problem right there. Okay, we'll pull that off. I have a carb kit for this, so like I'm sure a lot of you would, or maybe not. I don't know. I buy carb kits 15, 20 at a time. This carb's actually spotless inside. Fellow looked like he took good care of his stuff, so I'm not surprised. Okay, take that out. There's your needle. Let's see if we can get this thing to focus. There's your needle. Everything looks good in here. I'm gonna grab a carb kit from my carb kit bin here. And here. Brand new Tillotson carb kit. And let's throw this thing back together. I'm going to put in a new needle. Again, always compare your parts. I'm going to put a new needle, but I'm going to use the original metering lever. Just make sure the needle's the same length. If it's a different length, you're going to have issues. Yeah, same length. So here we go. We'll put a new needle in here. Try to drop it about 17 times. That's how you know when you're a real chainsaw mechanic, which I'm not, so I'm learning though. As you guys can tell, I don't take life very seriously. This is just fun and games to me. I love working on stuff, so try not to take life too seriously. Otherwise, life can be pretty depressing. Okay. There you go. Where's my clean rag? Right here. Just gonna wipe all this off. It's nice when you open up an old carb and it's not welded shut or full of crap. Okay. I'm trying to get this thing to autofocus here. See the difference? See how this one's all bubbled and stretched? Okay. And again, pay attention. Gasket on the bottom on this side. Gasket, diaphragm. Okay. Grab a new gasket from this here kit. And these are aftermarket kits. Haven't had any problem. The kits I tend to have problems with are Walbro HD kits. The diaphragm is often upside down. So they put this centerpiece together upside down so holes don't line up. But most of these Tillotson kits, I've never had a problem with them. So there you go. Hook it underneath. These Tillotsons are like that. See, you want to make sure it's hooked underneath. Okay, the metering lever there. And we'll put the top cover back on. Make sure you can see me here, which you cannot. There we go. Sorry guys, my editing app's been giving me trouble. So normally I film with the screen facing me so I can see, and then I flip it in my editing app, or I forget, which is hilarious, but my editing app's been giving me trouble, so I'm using a different app and it won't let me flip it. So try something new. Okay, put this top cover on. Let's have a look at the other side. I have a feeling I know what I'm going to find on the other side, but we'll open her up. How's everybody doing out there? It's an extra day. It's a holiday for us up here today, so I'm doing just fine because I'm in my shop. Had a great night last night. My wife and I had a nice fire and cooked some hamburgers and just chilled. It was a full moon. Nice cool night, not too cold, with no wind, no mosquitoes. It was just perfect. Okay, make sure you can see me here. Okay. There you go. So usually when you find, see how that's held open? That should be tight against the body of the carb. See that? So right there, 98% of old saws when you buy them. Oh, and there's also no screen in here. So give this a little shot of cleaner. This carb's actually remarkably clean, which is good. You know, sometimes these really dirty saws are not, they're just dirty on the outside because they've been sitting in somebody's shop, you know, for a bunch of years. It doesn't necessarily mean, sorry, I'm just going to push a new screen in here. Just because the saw is dirty doesn't necessarily mean that it's no good, right? So, and often I find the dirtier saws are the ones that come out the cleanest. It's like that coating protects the paint. Okay, this side, it's diaphragm. Okay. Sorry, there we go. Diaphragm and then gasket. These diaphragms open and close. The little flaps open and close and allow fuel to go through the carburetor. Okay, make sure it's clean. This one's pretty clean, so I'm not going to worry about it. This saw's coming back apart again. Today's mission is simply... Oh, let's drop it on the floor. Today's mission is to simply get this saw running. I'm probably going to put a different carburetor on this when I hop it up. I have a carb already picked out. I'll have to change some throttle shafts and that, but I'll show you the guys that as this project gets further along. Helps if you put your gasket on the right way. There we go. If I had a nickel for every time I've put a gasket on wrong on this side. Okay. See guys, I fumble around too. It is what it is. Some days your hands just don't want to work. Other days they're good, right? What do we got here? There we go. I wish I could put stuff together on film like awesomely like other people do, but not me. I struggle and fight with it often. Okay. Put this back together. Put your screws back in. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put this thing back together, and I'm going to put some fuel in the saw and see if she runs. I have a feeling that she will. Just a suspicion. If you have good compression and your carb's not plugged with varnish and spark, the saw should run 9 out of 10 times. You might have to play with the carb settings. Sometimes the saw won't even start and you're ready to give up, and then, you know, put the carb back to factory settings. Figure out what they are. Go online and look it up and check, because sometimes somebody else has been fiddling with a carb trying to adjust the carb that needs diaphragms. It happens quite a bit. The fuel line's not even hard in this saw, so that's good. Yeah, a lot of times somebody will be trying to tune around a bad diaphragm and the carb ends up just completely set up wrong, and that's all the problem is. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff that I see. If I can get this other screw in, I'm guessing I won't be able to. Oh, there we go. I don't work on homelites very often, guys, so bear with me. If I want to know about homelites, I usually go to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair, or Homelite Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Sorry, Leon, if I butchered that. If you watch this, I'm not sure if he does or not, but yeah, that guy knows his homelites. If I want to know about anything homelite or how to build something, I usually go on his channel. The guy does a really, really good job. Seems like an alright fella, and he knows his homelites, so it's cool to see, you know, what other people are interested in. I'm not necessarily a huge homelight fan, but homelites are kind of near and dear to my heart. My dad always ran homelites, so he had a homelight when I was a kid. So really, my first exposure to a chainsaw was a red homelight like this. So I guess that's kind of why I kind of gravitate to them. So biggest problem for me is because I work with my hands are pretty beat up, and they tend to not like vibration. So that's why often you're not going to see me running homelights very often, because they vibrate too much. Not that I don't like old saws. I love old saws. I think they're just fun. They're loud and just neat to run, but very, very hard on the carpal tunnel. So anyhow, okay, we'll close this choke. This back together. Pop the throttle shaft back in, if we can. There we go, throttle. These chokes are usually wired on. This one had a little tiny wee piece of wire holding it together. I don't know if that's factory, but we're going to run this thing without the wire and go from there. Okay, you guys are still filming here. Up a little. Let's put some fuel in this thing. Fuel that was in it smelled fine. There was mix in it, so I mean, I don't know if he tried to get it going or what the deal was, but I never put fuel in this thing, so okay. Little fuel in there. Little 45 to 1 Optimal or Opti 2. And okay. I'm gonna spin you guys over here. I'm gonna send you up here. And I think you should be able to see me if I stand here. Let's see if we can get this all running. Okay, here we go. No throttle. Impulse issue maybe? Okay. Oh, well, there we go. Let's put this thing back to half. I don't know what these are supposed to be at. I'll put them both at 1 and 1. The low jet appears to be closed. Okay. When in doubt, sorry if you guys can't see me here. When in doubt, turn the idle screw in a little bit. Okay, let me get this thing going. Okay, well, we're getting there. Just got to get her to get fuel going through her. I don't know where these jets are supposed to be at, so I could be completely off my rocker with where I set them at. I'm gonna put the choke back on. I bet you I just flooded it. Interesting. For all I know, the fuel line could be something wrong with that. I don't know if this thing's getting fuel. I'm going to put a little more fuel in the tank. That way if the fuel line's broken, because again, I'm going completely through this saw. I just want to know that it's a runner. A few drops of fuel in there. Okay. Pull the choke back out. Just gonna move you guys back over here. I know, awesome camera work. That's what my channel's known for. Okay. I think we may have flooded this, guys. Okay, I'm gonna pull the plug and I'll come right back. Just give me a second. Don't have to pull the plug. Spark plug was loose, guys. See if we're filming here. Yeah, we're filming. Spark plug is loose and the boot came off, so yeah. Interesting. I never even checked the spark plug, so there you go. Always check your spark plugs. There we go. Bet you this thing will run now. Let's spin you back around. Okay guys, spark plug was loose. Let's see if this thing's flooded or if she'll run. Oh, she's a little flooded. I'm happy. There you guys go. Good old homelite XL76. Good running saw. Very good running saw. There's a lot of these out there, and it just dawned on me, you know, a couple weeks ago, why don't I do something with those? Looks like a fun project. I don't think a lot of guys hot rod these. There might be a reason. I might open this thing up and realize that it's beyond my capabilities. But we're going to do that. We're going to open this thing up and see what's inside and then decide whether we can port it or not. Anyhow, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Thanks for watching. Take her easy. This thing's awesome.